What's up, friends? This is Jazz. Finally, after over 10 months, bringing you another Crimson Fury review. Now, I do have to apologize to all of those waiting for it. There is absolutely no excuse other than my mind and everything was busy. So, this one is going to be on Chapter 5/4, Pidgeys of History. Now, we begin this chapter with Allison Kinsting being peed at her sons for just leaving without her notice. Like, nothing. Like, they made the coffee, I think, and then they went off, and, well, she literally, like angry. And she was at a point saying she has all rights to ground them here for the next 6 months and not let them go, on their journey. And they eventually do kiss up to her. Well, that and Michael vouched for them. So she still lets them to go under the conditions that they call her every day. They don't get into trouble. There are people there looking out for them, so if they see any trouble, then they're going right back home. All that jazz. Yeah, pun not intended, but that's just sometimes the way I talk. So, after everything with Allison, Matthew and Ryan head back to meet Michael and Addison on Route 601, where Michael is planning just to teach him a few basic things. But before that all happens, they ask several questions like, Matthew, when does my Eevee learn Hyper Beam? Addison, how many times should I group my Eevee a day? And Michael, what is the strongest Pokemon? And boy, they ask him all this at once, and Michael is just like overwhelmed, and just like, whoa. And to Matthew's dismay, he's like, Eevee never learns Hyper Beam. No basic stage does. It's for of Pokemon and Dragon-type Pokemon. To Addison, he says, well, the contest queen brushes her Pokemon about 2 times a day, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. And to Ron, he's like, the Pokemon you have the strongest bond with. They could even be like a Dragonite. Which all of them want to see Rhaegar, Michael's Dragonite, but he says, yeah, he doesn't like being around people because he's a special Dragonite. He's not as friendly, as the others. But after that, he's going to teach them the basics of catching a Pokemon, which he easily snags a Zigzagoon, which I'll just bypass that part. Matthew is the first one to try to catch a Pokemon, which he fails at first when he finds a Tyrogue and just chucks the ball at it. Well, that's one of my favorite parts. The Tyrogue just punches the ball right into Matthew. I think his head, And everyone laughs at him, and Rod's like, you should, Mike may have caught it with a single throw, but he's more experienced. He said, you probably should get it to battle first, and Matthew does. He doesn't even have to tell his Eevee anything, because Eevee just pins Tyrogue to the ground, and then Matthew catches it, which shows the personality of Matthew's Eevee is almost like him, like rough and tough, where Ryan's Eevee isn't right at this point that tough, because when it is Ryan's turn to catch a Pidgey, what happened is that Eevee is scared, and literally Pidgey starts attacking Eevee, and he's just running for his life, and ironically Ryan ends up throwing the Pokeball at the Pidgey to protect Eevee, and he snags it, and catches it, unlike Matthew. So it was kind of accidental, kind of not, because he was just doing it at this point to protect his Eevee. Right, because he wasn't ready to battle, and he was running scared for his life, but he just ended up catching Pidgey. And with Addison, she actually showed she had some skill at catching Pokemon like Michael, in a way. Even better in some ways, because she just senses a Pokemon, throws the ball into the bushes, and catches a Venonat. And they were surprised, like Matthew and Ryan were surprised, and Michael said, well, her father's the warden of the Safari Zone, so he figured she might kind of get what it is when it comes to catching them that way. So out of all 3 of them, Addison seemed to have the easiest time. with catching Pokemon. Yes, Ron caught a Pokemon without battling it, kind of. But it was attacking the Eevee, right? Where Addison wasn't even panicked, nothing was going on. And I think out of all three of them, Matthew had the hardest time with naturally catching the Pokemon, but his Eevee did get the idea on how to, like, pin it down in a way. But anyway, after they all catch their Pokemon, Michael wants to teach them, battling. And Addison preferred to sit it out because she's trying to go for the contest rather than, battling. So she sits out with Michael to watch, and Matthew and Ryan have a 1v1, which is Pidgey versus Tyrogue. Because Ryan just knows his Eevee is not ready yet, especially after the incident with Pidgey. And let's say Matthew loses, which again, at this point, he just isn't, into that idea, because he didn't think of type matchups. And another one of my favorite parts, when he's like, Tyrogue, you super punch, which Tyrogue did not know. I don't think that's even a move. And poor Tyrogue was confused. I mean, you can't blame the Tyrogue at this point, right? And the only move he knew was tackle. But another disadvantage to Matthew is flying versus fighting, not so good of a type matchup. And Ryan also seemed to have a little bit of experience with fighting in some ways, because he knew he used Gust with Pidgey, which somehow he knew. So, and when Matthew's like, can I switch back to Eevee? No, he would be disqualified, right? He already chose Tyrogue. But, it was a fun little matchup, but just to show, as much as Matthew is full of himself and is thinking, stronger the better, that's not always the case. It's not just the Pokemon that matter, it's the trainer himself. You could have a type matchup that is perfect, but if you don't know what you're doing, then the one that's usually weak could get an advantage, right? So, I mean, heck, Tyrogue could have worked, in a sense. Well, maybe not, because he could fly, although in the actual games that would not have worked, because Pidgey was such a low level. How he was able to get up in the air, I don't know. But my point being is, sometimes if the Pokemon is trained right, they can even come over disadvantages. But at this point, Matthew was not experienced enough to know that type of thing. He's just thinking, strength. Oh, Tyrogue looks tough. Strength. It doesn't always work. There was a time, we'll just say as an example, when I was playing the Pokemon games, that I was always just, attack. I'm starting to learn, again, I'm still learning, that there's strategies involved too. Even when playing the main series Pokemon game and not doing the tournaments or anything. I'm learning that, especially if you're doing a Nuzlocke, you have to do everything right. So, I know this is off topic, but when I was playing Pokemon Coliseum and I was battling, Duckhim, I actually was able to predict, okay, he's going to do Protect. I knew the movesets of them. Okay, I'll probably go better off going for this guy. So, I'm learning. I'm learning to read certain moves. That's the same point in this story. Ryan, again, isn't experienced at this point either, but he seems to at least know what moves his Pidgey knows. Where that Super Punch, actually, that would be quite cool if a Pokemon could use that type of move, but I don't think that move even actually exists at all. But anyway, another part I forgot to bring up was Cassius was waiting for his lawyer to come to help release him, to protect him from the charges he had for experimenting on Pokemon. And here comes Claude Jocks. He apparently is a friend of the Kingstons, which Cassius is confused. Why are you protecting me? You're supposed to be loyal to the Kingstons. And what Claude said he's loyal to is, justice. He wants to do what's right, And, well, partially. Also, he knows he got a bunch of fat wads, money. He does, he is, what do they call it, blinded by money, in a way. So whoever pays him the most is where he goes, in a way. So, loyalty, be hack, in a way. So, as I said, I'm looking forward to knowing where this goes, in a way. Well, technically, I'm recording this really late, so I'm not going to go into any spoilers. I know where this all goes. That's why I'm doing these videos so late is hard, because you know where a lot of things are going. I've already read I'm at the point I'm reading Dawn of Arcadia, so I know where everything's going, but I'm not going to spoil any of it for you. So, keep that in mind when I do these videos, guys. I'm trying my best not to bite my tongue and not to be biased when I'm talking about some characters here. So, back to the gang, in a way. They finish their battling, and Michael is called because Cassius. So, he has to leave them, and they pretty much talk about where they're going to go. They first plan to go to Parlor Town to register for the Pokemon League, and saying something I forget what is it, St. Terrence. I'm going to have to correct myself, but they're going to have to eventually go there to register Addie for the contest. So that is pretty much where this chapter ends. They're excited to start their journey officially, trying to catch some more Pokemon, just to make them stronger. So guys, I apologize for the lack of videos. I am going to try to get more of these out more frequently. But again, I'm also starting work full-time where I work again. So I'm trying my best not to go paranoid over that. And maybe this is a good excuse as any to record them that'll keep my mind busy on that. But part of my work is I also edit my videos, so I'm trying to get videos where I can edit. So this is a good time as any to record these videos. So again, try to be patient with me. I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to try to prioritize these videos over some of my others at this point until I at least get a couple more out. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed finally getting this video after a long ass time, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, like what you say, please subscribe and help this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.